Imagine it's your first day on the job as a brand new CEO, and the very first thing you have to do is tell your existing user base that you're discontinuing a product. Well, that's what's happened to the brand new CEO of Autel. Sort of. Except for this is actually a good thing, even though it may still piss off a lot of people. But today we're talking about why Autel has opted to discontinue the version 1 of the EVO 2. Let's get started. What's good, everybody? Ken here. You're watching OriginaldoBo, and today we're going to be talking about why Autel is discontinuing the version 1 of the EVO 2. Yeah, it's going to get pretty confusing really quickly with the V1, V2 of the EVO 2. But a recent email publication that just came out, an announcement from Autel, has basically outed the fact that chip shortages has prevented them from being able to continue on with the development of the EVO 2 lineup as we knew it. Influencers started negotiating with Autel back in April to get their hands on the new smart controller. April came and went, never saw it. May came and went, a second email, and they said that mid-May we would have our hands on the new smart controller. That came and went and we never got it. And I was sitting here scratching my head as to why. Well, now we know why. There is an issue with manufacturing, and the issue comes into form of a chip shortage. Because there is a limited quantity of chips, Autel has had to make the hard decision. Do they continue on and wait for the V1 chips to become available, or can they potentially make their platform better and produce a V2? Obviously, you know the latter of that decision. They opted to go with the version 2 chipset, which is also going to bring enhancement to the signal transmission along with the video link back down to the drone. I'm all for that because the EVO was okay. It wasn't the best. It definitely wasn't as good as OcuSync, but anything that they could do to improve the overall performance and latency of the transmission signal, I'm all about. Now, the problem's going to come into play is end users will think automatically because they're no longer producing the V1s that they're no longer going to support that. That's just not the case. Autel has had the long-standing track record of good support for their quads. Let's be real though, in the world of technology, nothing lasts forever, and eventually products do need to be sunset. And drones are no different. DJI has maintained a great track record of basically maintaining software support for the vast majority of their fleet. However, they do have a larger infrastructure than Autel to support those products. They also have a wider product base, which I probably just dug myself into a hole there. I digress. We'll have to see what the new regime at Autel can do to fix that. But Autel has supported their drones for quite a while where it was warranted, with the exception of the X-Star. I feel like a lot of people are probably pretty jaded with the X-Star because they stopped support for it, but that really was due to the battery situation. The EVO 2 version 1 will still be supported, but now you're gonna have to decide if you have the V1 of the EVO 2, are you going to buy the smart controller? If so, they are only going to produce those in a limited batch quantity, first come, first serve. Now, the problem with that is going to be, it's not gonna be forwards compatible with anything newer. So if you buy a newer Autel product after the EVO 2, V2, or whatever else they produce, it likely won't work with that smart controller due to the chip incompatibility. So, do you wait and buy the V2 version and the new smart controller? It's tough to really say if it's going to be a warranted purchase, especially if you are somebody who just got their hands on the version 1 of the EVO 2. This is very confusing, as you can already tell. I'm gonna get my hands on both of them and we'll do a side-by-side comparison to really decide whether or not this is going to be a worthy upgrade. If it's only marginally better, I can't honestly see anybody upgrading to a V2 if you already have the version 1 of the EVO 2. It just doesn't make sense from a financial standpoint. Now, the commercial guys may find solace in doing that because they are looking for the best of the best, and obviously they're gonna be getting paid to do that. And the smart controller makes sense for somebody in the commercial side of life because it could be a lot easier. They could be working in harsher conditions that require that brightness, or maybe just a standalone RC. There's a lot of reasons for that. But the CEO has assured that they're going to continue on with the production, and they're still going to sell the smart controller for the version 1, but it's going to be a limited batch quantity. I have some questions of my own that weren't answered in that email, such as warranty and support. If somebody has a warranty issue, how are they going to be able to fulfill it? Did they secure enough of batches of the V1 chipset to handle any and all warranty situations that occur? If you think about it, it's sort of like a casino. A casino's chips have to represent all the dollar amounts that they have available to them. So does Autel have enough chips to represent the current amount of EVO 2 version 1s that are currently in circulation? If we're comparing it to a casino. I'm a blackjack player. I like to compare things like that. I don't really know. Hopefully Autel can comment on that, as how they're going to handle the warranties, because I think people would automatically assume that they would get upgraded to the V2, which would incur the fact that they would probably also need a new controller as well. A lot of unknowns, but we'll have to see how this plays out. I'm looking forward to testing the new smart controller, and I'm looking forward to testing the new enhancements that the V2 supposedly has. And then we'll make our own assessment whether or not it's actually worth it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's useful. We have been very, very quiet on Autel content recently, but I'm looking forward to getting back to that, getting back to my roots of talking about good old Orange. All right. That's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to hit that like button. And if you didn't, if you hit the dislike button, I can't see it from studio anymore anyway, so I really don't give a shit. All right, stay original.